Hey guys, it's been a while since I've done sort of one of these vlog style videos, and I just wanted to talk to you about a little problem I have. When I post videos on YouTube, and I write the script and everything, and I've got a very clear direction of where I'm going with it. Somewhere along the way in my search optimization and building these, designing these thumbnails and so on, the way the video kind of is marketed, you could say, or optimized, becomes misleading because I want to get the most amount of views, right? So I'll give you an example. I wanted to talk about anti-intellectualism the other day. Well, and I did talk about it. And the way being that anti-intellectualism is not going to be a searched word very high. Like I might have gotten 10 views if I actually put anti-intellectualism among the Jehovah's Witnesses on the thumbnail and made the title that way. So instead, the thumbnail looked like this: Jehovah's Witnesses and elitism, or verse elitism. And that's kind of still in line with things, but still elitism is kind of an abstruse word. It's still not a very highly searched word, especially next to Jehovah's Witness. And so what I did, just to kind of make it a little more broad, is I put in the title, Jehovah's Witness, or no, the media, something like the excessive mediocrity of Jehovah's Witnesses. And in doing so, I mean, I'm happy I did that. It resulted in more views than if I had put anti-intellectualism in there. But now the problem is, I want to say more about the mediocrity, the excessive, obsessive mediocrity among the witnesses. Let's just be clear. I don't think that all of the Jehovah's Witnesses are mediocre, living mediocre lives and so on. There are many people with great careers and a lot of money and seeking greatness in other directions of their life among the Jehovah's Witnesses. So I don't want to paint that, but I will say that the doctrines, the literature does push this lifestyle of simplicity, not simplicity in kind of a noble, purist, minimalist sense, which there's a lot to be said for that, but living a simple and hard life for the sake of it, for the sake of being different, for the sake of knowing that you're doing your best for Jehovah. Worship really has to hurt, and that's really the impression you get from their doctrines. And there is a trickle-down effect from that on the culture. Again, I'm not going to say that all Jehovah's Witnesses are this way, but I would say certainly my experience with them, that is very evident in their culture from my point of view. And so I want to talk about that for a second here, about the mediocrity that is so pushed.
You and Shelley set a good example for keeping your life simple.
Thanks. But honestly, that wasn't always the case.
What do you mean?
Well, one day we were watching the video, We Live a Simple Life. And it really helped us to take a good look at our lives. We were both pioneering, but still living a comfortable life. And we started wondering. Our love for Jehovah had moved us to pioneer, but could it move us to take the next step? After meditating and praying about it, the answer became obvious. We sold our house, found a little apartment in the territory. Took some time to adjust, but what it did for our relationship with Jehovah was so worth it. With nothing to tie us down, we were blessed to go to the School for Kingdom Evangelizers. And then that's when you all met us.
I remember when you guys moved here, everything you owned fit into your car and trailer.
Yeah.
I mentioned that life has to hurt, it seems, and this is really a recrudescence of asceticism. that's so common throughout world religions and has especially been evident in the past. Historically, asceticism has driven so many unhealthy forms of worship, and I just think that that's quite unfortunate because, look around, the world is a beautiful place. It's really not that bad of a place. Will you find evil and suffering and corruption and, top-heavy elements in the world? Of course you will. Of course you will. But that is hardly the only image that you get. How much of the literature of the Jehovah's Witnesses is so alarmist? There is such an honest yearning for it all to be over, and for finally God's kingdom to take over. And it just, find God's kingdom now. I'm something of an atheist myself. I don't believe in a deistic God or anything like that, but for heaven's sake, try to find some good in life. And that actually leads me to another point about sort of this restraint on being happy. The scriptures say that Jehovah is a happy God. Well, why is that not so evident in the culture of the witnesses? There have been multiple studies showing that the prescription drug abuse among witnesses is kind of frightening. I'm not going to say that all Jehovah's Witnesses are depressed or that depression directly stems from their doctrines, but I think that the doctrines do push this mentality, and it does have a trickle-down effect on the culture. And so my point of advice here today, counter to what the witnesses will tell you in their literature, is find moments throughout the day to experience elevated emotion. This may seem weird at first, especially if you're not accustomed to it. I would say typically we think of happiness as stemming from an exterior result in your world. But try to at least experience moments throughout the day where you elevate your emotions. Get out to scenery. And if you're not in a particularly pretty part of the world, go on YouTube. I actually released a playlist with, there's a few videos there now, a handful of them, that talk about how to elevate your emotions immediately, change your mood immediately. And you'll find that the quality of your life, if you keep this up on a regular basis, the quality of your life will substantially improve. And it's something that many people have experienced with I've talked about transcendence and altered brain states and spontaneous remission of diseases and so on, stemming from people who force themselves in a room or out in nature and actively try to elevate their emotions. Now that is not something you will really see in their doctrines very much. The literature will say that prayer can be a profound source of strength and solace and fortitude and so on. And that's true. I'd say that deserves a bit of credit. But get out in nature. You have the time with this whole disaster going on that I won't be mentioning by name because it'll probably harm the traffic to this video. But in isolation, go out to public areas that you're allowed to, and still practice all the social distancing and so on, and just get out in nature. And if you can't do that, then do it from your own home. Go on YouTube, look at playlists, go tune into that playlist that I included, and you'll find that it makes a very big difference on your attitude from day to day. But yeah, this I think how I will probably upload this video is under the description of 50 Shades of Grey, under the thumbnail of 50 Shades of Grey, because there is this malaise and grayness in their doctrines and what I observed in their culture. Life doesn't have to hurt. Try to have a good day. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not particularly great at speaking unscripted here, so thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Hey guys, did you like this video? You know what to do. And if something I mentioned today resonated with you, click one of them cards on this screen. I have lots of related content sure to interest you. Thanks as always for your views, and we'll see you next time.